Oh, the lefties are playing these games again. What is up, my boys? And today I have some grade A stupidity for you. So the classic academia lefties are up to this again, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So on Sunday, there was the 2018 UCI's Masters Track Cycling World Championship for women in Los Angeles because, of course, it was here. My city's a joke. And it turns out the winner of it was not even a woman, but a man. It was actually a transgender woman from Canada, because of course it's from Canada. And when I went to look this person up, it was exactly what I expected. I'll give you a second to try and figure it out. You can smell the glasses and hair dye from here. Like, why do they all have that? Why is it the men, they have to have the fucking t-shirt with the beard and the glasses and be fat? Or, you know, they can be skinny too and be... For the women, you gotta have glasses and dyed hair and a lot of piercing and tattoos and or be fat. Should I insert NPC meme here? Nah, everyone's done it. I'll skip it. Anyway, I'm gonna show you this stupidity for yourself. So the good part is today, she took to Twitter to call out all the evil bigots who were pointing out that this was a man playing in a woman's league. So, this is the article from the Daily Wire. Rachel McKinnon, an assistant professor of philosophy at the College of Charleston, celebrated on Twitter that, "Oh, I'm a world champion, hashtag Rainbow Fox Racing, hashtag I don't give a fuck." Wait, women who lift? Alright. No, you'd be a world champion if you competed in a man's league. So just no. But to like what I just said, she was slammed on Twitter by this. Because, I mean, it's not really something to brag about. So she says, "Lots of transphobic bigots are responding to my world championship win, saying that, next up, the Paralympics. Hey, women, you realize all these people, many of them women, are comparing you to disabled people, right? Women equal disabled men, they think. Wow, offensive." Outrageous! Okay, how did you get that comparison? The comparison... No, lady, they were pointing out you were at an unfair advantage. That was the point, but you had to go, let me spin this into how I can be offended. They're comparing it because of the biological differences between men and women and the advantages you have. So that's the point people were making, genius, is that you had an unfair advantage due to your biology. So while she's crying, making up something about people comparing women to disabled women, the college, because of course they did, said, congratulations. Congratulations to Assistant Professor Rachel McKinnon on an athletic accomplishment. This past weekend in Los Angeles, she won a World Masters Championship in track cycling. Yeah. As the Daily Caller reported, McKinnon finished ahead of Carolyn van... What the fuck is that word? Of the Netherlands and American cycling Jennifer Wagner to take home the gold last January, quoted McKinnon railing against any requirement that would force men to suppress their testosterone in order to enter women's events. She stated, "We cannot have a woman legally recognized as trans in society and not be recognized that way in sports. Focusing on performance is largely irrelevant because this is a rights issue."
Excuse me, what?
What? We shouldn't be worried about trans people taking over the Olympics. We should be worried about their fairness and human rights instead. What do you mean their fairness? Well, okay, so if I go and fucking go put on a wig and a dress right now and just go around for like a week saying I'm a woman and then go compete in sports in a women's league, I'd still probably lose. But still, you get the point. An average man probably gonna win. There was one with a high school wrestling team where it was a transgender woman, so a man went into like a female wrestling thing and dominated all the freaking women. It's like, oh, what a surprise. It says this has nothing to do with your right. Where in the Constitution does it say you have the right to play in a privatized sporting event in the way I want to do it, otherwise you're violating my rights? Where is the government stepping in and telling you you can't do that? Well, it's Los Angeles. They'll probably think of something stupid. But if you don't... You're a professor, and... Okay, look at this. Let's just look at this real quick. Gross measures of body strength suggest that women are approximately 50 to 60% as strong as men in the upper body and 60 to 70% in the lower body. One study of muscle strength in the elbows and knees in 45 and older males and females found the strength of females ranged from 42 to 63% of male strength. Another study found that men have higher hand grip strength than women, even comparing untrained men with female athletes. Differences in width of arm, thighs, and calves also increase during puberty. And that is just one example of why it's unfair to go, you're a trans woman, get in with the women group. You have significantly higher upper and lower body strength, and that's just to name one thing. There's a bunch of other factors in it. And women's bodies can perform better at males' bodies in some endurance sports. So there you go. I'm not saying men are better in every way. I think long-distance swimming, women perform better at. Anyway, let's go off. Okay, sorry, that was a tangent. McKinnon, who teaches a class on ethics and inclusion, of course it is, compared criticism of the victory to racism, of course she did, adding, this is bigger than sports, it's about human rights. No, it's not. By catering to the cisgender people's views that further transgender people's oppression. What oppression? When it comes to extending rights to a minority population. What right? She didn't name the right still. Why would we ask the majority? I bet a lot of white people were pissed off when we desegregated sports racially and allowed black people, but they had to deal with it. Are we going to point out that the sports industry is overrepresented by blacks, and therefore, we need that equality of outcome, so we got to get some more whites in there. Never mind, who am I kidding? These people can't see black people having advantages. They think they're lesser than whites. These are her views on male physiology. Right, complicated as fuck. We have no idea why men on average outperform women on average. We have no idea. Really? You're a fucking professor? I know it's a useless degree, professor, but, for real, you're still a fucking... You teach people. You are a teacher. Also, I think a lot of the current gap is sociological and not biological.
Boy, if you don't get...
Okay. This just in, I guess we're all sponges now and are exactly the same physically. I guess our skeletal structure don't reel. Our broader shoulders don't reel. Women's wider hip don't reel. No, because they hurt my feelings. Another transgender woman who competes on a higher level than McKinnon has argued with McKinnon, acknowledging that the inherent sex differences between men and women making competing against women unfair, and she is right. USA Today wrote about Jillian Burden, who asked McKinnon to leave Burden's cycling team in 2017, saying, I've proven how powerful testosterone is from when I competed. As a male, Burden says, that doesn't mean specifically that the more testosterone you have, the stronger you are, but the hormone provides certain stamina that continues to charge you. It gives you the edge of pushing power. Exactly. I just can't believe this person's a teacher. And then we have the female cyclists, the second and third ones, did speak out, or at least one did, saying, of course, this is not fair. Jennifer Wagner, who's third place, is not staying silent about, the unfairness. She said, I was the third place rider. It's definitely not fair, by her words, and she's absolutely right. The cyclist was replying to a tweet from political personality Katie Hopkins, who highlighted the absurdity of a man being allowed to compete in a woman's race. It is absurd. Congratulations to the brave faces of silver and broad, the world gripped by feeble madness. For clarity, this was the women's championships. I repeat, women's. The second place winner said she won an honest race, citing the rules. No one is a transgender to steal anyone's medal. No one argued that. We had an honest race under UCI rules. Oh, I don't know the rules, and I don't care. Honestly, that's not the point of the video. If you compete, you accept the rules. Otherwise, don't compete. I can only imagine what she had to go through in her life to be where she is now and how hard it is to fit in.
Oh, what do you two zeros know about fitting in?
You know there's a male cycling league, right? You know, you can go do that. But nah, my feelings, though. Wagner pushed back that just because it's a current UCI rule doesn't make it fair or right, and rules have to be changed, and she is right. Because otherwise, yeah, I think the women should just leave. As reported by the Daily Wire on Monday, McKinnon blasted her critics of his victory as transphobic bigots, and that's what I just covered, so... And then I'll just skip over the bottom. It's just a quote from Matt Walsh. I don't like him. Anyway, that's it for this load of... What's something that would offend them? I don't even know. I could literally put anything here and it would offend them on the way out. I could just go with my, I'll see you later, boys. That'd probably piss them off for not being inclusive enough. The boy is universal. It applies to both genders.